It was a warm evening in the summer of 1965 in East Floyd County, Georgia. The sun was just beginning to set, casting a deep orange hue across the sky. The air was still and the birds were singing their evening songs. It was a peaceful, seemingly ordinary evening, but for the Smith family, it was about to become anything but ordinary. The Smiths were a family of 4, consisting of parents Robert and Martha and their 2 children, William and Sarah. They had recently moved from their home in Atlanta to a small wood house deep in the woods of East Floyd County. The house itself is a small 5-room structure with a small porch on the front and a few windows on the sides. It is surrounded by a thick forest, which seems to be ever watchful of the house and its inhabitants. The house is believed to have been built in the early 1800s by a family of pioneers who had recently settled in the area. The original inhabitants of the house, the Wheelers, were also a husband and wife, 2 children, and a few farm animals. They lived a peaceful and simple life in the small house until strange events began to occur. At night, the family would often hear strange noises coming from outside the house. They also noticed that the lights in the house would flicker on and off for no apparent reason. The family was certain that something supernatural was occurring, but they could not explain it. The family began to fear the house, and soon they stopped living there altogether. The house remained vacant for many years, until a new family moved in. This family was also plagued by strange occurrences, and they too soon left the house. Over the years, the house has been passed down from generation to generation, each one experiencing the same strange events. Many have tried to explain the occurrences, but none have been successful. So it is now that the Smiths had been looking for a place to get away from the hustle and bustle of the city and to start a new life in the peaceful countryside. It was shortly after dusk, not a month after they moved in, when the Smiths heard a loud thumping noise coming from outside their house. Robert and Martha quickly rushed outside to investigate, but what they saw shocked them. Standing before them were 3 strange creatures, each of them about 4 feet tall, with large heads and large eyes. The creatures had a strange, almost alien-like appearance, and they seemed to be trying to communicate with the Smiths in a strange, incomprehensible language. The Smiths were terrified by what they saw, and they quickly ran back into the house, locking all the doors and windows. They stayed in their house for the rest of the night, peering through the windows to see if the creatures had gone away. The next morning, the Smiths were relieved to find that the creatures had disappeared. However, their pet dogs were nowhere to be found, and the woods were disturbingly quiet. The strange encounter had left them shaken, and they quickly packed up their belongings and moved back to Atlanta. Since that night, the Smiths have never spoken about what happened to anyone, and the small wood house in East Floyd County has been abandoned ever since. To this day, no one knows what those strange creatures were or what they wanted from the Smiths. But one thing is certain, the Smiths will never forget that fateful night in 1965 when they encountered something from another world.